You're not paranoid.
Okay, great. Welcome. Hi. It's me, Kylie. It's me, Katie. And this is You're not paranoid. That was me saying.
For both of us?
That was both of us,
Wow.
if you couldn't tell.
Kylie is hijacking this podcast because I was drinking my water.
Yeah, that like LA Croix or whatever that stuff is. And now she can't breathe.
The LA Croix.
Yeah.
That's my favorite team. The LA Croix.
Yeah.
Sis.
Croacies.
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 Yeah.
Sounds kind of like a disease.
La Croix. LA Croacies.
I like LA Croix because it's
Croix.
just so
Croaky
offensive.
mate.
Croixy. Croxy Dundee. Oh, I don't know what I was trying to. Please delete that. I was trying to say Dundee.
Dundee is
Crocodile
also
Dundee.
a city in Scotland.
Of course you know that. Katie is Scottish.
Yeah, but probably not. But maybe.
I actually have a bit of Scottish in me.
Oh.
Was that even?
No.
I didn't think
It's
so.
fine.
All right. Well,
I can't do a Scottish accent either.
okay,
So-
but you can identify when one is wrong
Yes.
because you lived there. So that's
I
great.
lived there, so I'm just like,
You're like,
I know everything.
you're like, I'm not right, but neither are you.
Yes.
And that's how we live our lives.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going for it. We're doing this. So we're doing this new thing now
Mhm.
where don't look at my phone. We share kind of like maybe a weird story or short article or something to kind of like break the ice for ourselves.
Yeah, because we don't like each other.
We secretly hate each other. Just kidding. We love each other. But no, I wouldn't say we said that. We've never said the L word. Sorry.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Anyways, so I have a story. So, the weird story of the week.
Uh-oh.
So, get this. This is from rare.com and this is under rare humor.
Ooh.
Guess what people apparently are doing? They are removing. I don't know what if I was waiting for a response because that's so vague and broad. This is the title. People are removing the inside of their ears as part of a bizarre new trend, and we are so confused.
Wait, what?
This is the picture.
Oh, ew, no.
I know.
Ew, ew, ew.
I know.
If you didn't like the holes episode, don't look this up.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely holes. So this is called conch removal, where people who do body modifications are removing the inside of their ears. And it's like that hole inside. Say, okay, if you're looking at an ear, now touch the part of your ear that's the conch. No, like the lower part that makes like a C or a D, depending on what side you're looking at. So remove that, and that's what you got.
You just have like the outer outline of your ear, and then the rest is missing.
It's like a plug, but inside of your conch. Whatever. I just like saying conch. Sounds kind of naughty, but I like it.
What?
I don't know. Conch?
Like a conch shell.
I think because it sounds like crotch.
Oh.
And
You've
that's
never
what
heard of the shell?
Oh, yeah, conch shell.
Yeah. They go
Like
"Brr,"
SpongeBob.
or
He's like, like sounds the conch. But this is the ear conch. So the procedure involves taking out the concha, which is the middle bit of the outer ear. It is also known as the pinna and the auricle. These are all sounding interesting. Okay, I'm just reading this one thing on Rare, so bear with me. But people aren't only taking out the whole inner part of the concha or conch. They're also doing like this, where it's kind of like your cartilage piercing. It's like a plug inside of your cartilage.
But the whole point is to see the hole, or are you putting jewelry in it?
So far, and like this girl has it just like a little hole, is that it's just like looks like a little blowhole for your ear.
That's so weird.
I know.
Also, you're distorting the whole point of your ear is to capture noise.
So people are saying something like our ears don't do that anymore. Like, properly the way that, you know, evolution has made our ears to, like, kind of like, what animal does that?
Elephant.
Or picture...
No,
or
they
like
have flappy ears.
Cats. Their ears are like coned, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
Any cat.
Kind of like,
in
so
the
like
cat
right now, if we're
family.
talking and then do this exercise with yourself, audience, you put your ears behind your ears and you talk.
Your hands.
What'd I say?
I think you said your ears behind your ears.
I did say that. Take your hands, cup them behind your ears, like
Your hand
lean them
ears.
out. Oh, no, my glasses go. Okay, bye-bye. You cup them forward, and now I feel like I'm doubly amplified.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
But
So
I
that's
feel
what You go first.
your ears still do that a little bit.
That's what they're saying, that it's fine. That, yeah, sure, they do that. But guess what? They're saying that's even better.
Having holes in them makes the sound better.
No. So apparently it's going to take time to adjust because now the sound waves are coming in from different directions.
Yes.
But they're like, guess what? You can hear people behind you. Because there's literally a hole in your... Because apparently that was the reason.
That's why people are doing it?
No, I think it's more just a perk. And people like the look of it.
People want attention.
That's one reason people maybe like to modify their
Why don't you
bodies.
just cut your ear off then? You can hear anyone from anywhere.
I think they still like the ear.
Keep
They
everything except for the lobe so you can keep your ear piercings.
I think the less radical one is the one that looks like a hole punch, like kind of like plugs in your lobes, but plugs in your... But that cannot feel good.
I don't like it.
I don't like the look of the stitching, but the healed one is pretty interesting. Like, you can't really see it, but you see on the right.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty interesting. It looks like a hole punch. I don't know. I guess
like
if you were to put like...
removed.
Oh, yeah, they're also saying... Wait, what? Unless you had cancer removed?
It looks like a cancer was removed.
Yeah.
A skin cancer.
Yeah, I could see that. And they're also saying that, like, that big one where the whole inner part was removed, like, could result in easier ear infections and whatnot because now everything's going to fly in there.
Well, yeah, and the doctor's not doing it, right?
I mean, it's a
Body modification
practitioner.
Yeah, so they have no
who is
medical
also
degree.
severely modified.
But
This would be kind of cool. I'm just imagining like hoops surround like in it, and then you're just like baby hoops that are all around. I'm not gonna do that, but that's one idea for this individual who has a hole punch in the cartilage. But isn't that weird?
That's
I saw it.
very weird.
Actually, one of my aunts posted on no other than Facebook, and I was like, I should mention that. For anyone, do you like modifying your body? In what ways?
Are you asking me or are you asking the audience?
Audience?
Okay.
I mean, do you? Again, okay, exactly.
I would just do ear piercings.
Yeah. Not like holes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not
Because
really
you got
gonna
like this.
have my nose.
You have a nose.
I
I
have
got your nose. No, you have your nose.
I have my nose pierced. But
Nice.
I'm not going to add holes to my body.
Well, those are like baby holes. These ones
Yeah.
are like
noticeable.
stick a pencil in your ear, the concha, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
We're not here to tell you what you like. Just saying. We're here to talk about things that are weird.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. Weird, right?
Interesting.
Interestingly weird. I don't know. Thought it'd be kind of like, ooh, like set the mood. Creepy.
Ew.
Anyways. So, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do we want to do their thing first?
I don't know. But also, shout out to Canada and Australia. We have some listeners.
Oh, we do?
Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I think on the
hi.
website, and I can check this really fast, we have people who have visited from other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, Canada and Australia, and then Sweden
Really?
are the next highest views besides the good old US of A.
You mean like one view or like...
Canada, there's been more. Yeah, also Canada, Australia, and Sweden are all more than one.
Yay! So that means
So
there could
it's
be
like, I
one
think
person listening a couple times.
Yeah. I think we might have one Canadian friend.
Oh, Canadian friend, if you're...
Or several that
you,
listen to one.
If it's you, please feel
Hello.
free to...
And welcome. What's that about, eh? We're sorry if we don't have any Canadian stories.
Send us some.
Send us some.
I did have an Australian story. Remember Elsa Corp?
Yes. Maybe that's why.
You're going to like this. So we've had visits to our website from Ireland, Canada,
whoop, whoop.
India,
Whoop,
Mexico,
whoop.
China,
You.
and Australia.
Hey.
Down under.
Hey, mate. You want to check out the website, eh?
Yeah. Isn't that so cool?
That's pretty neat.
Each have only been one, except for Canada twice. That could have been me when I was in Canada, to be honest. Looking back. That's probably where it was listening when I was in Canada.
But you listen that many times.
How many is it? No, I did not. Like, I am all of the listens from different phones. And Ireland was 3. I've not been to Ireland, so it's pretty good.
It's probably
the
some
US
sort
is
of distant cousin.
Yeah. Let's say that. All right, so I know who the Canadian one is.
Hi.
It's that Allie girl who shouted us out on her Instagram from Help I'm Wearing a Suit.
Help, she's wearing a suit and she's stuck
to
in
her
it.
Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she's stuck in it?
Yeah, she needs help, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
help, I'm wearing a suit.
I'm wearing a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just...
Because they're in Canada.
Yeah.
Her and her co-host Dan.
They're wearing suits
Yay.
and they need help.
Yeah. And then we're like,
we got you. And then Kylie went
you're not paranoid.
She went up to Canada and helped them.
Yeah.
Get their suits
They're
off.
still wearing it. I didn't do that good of a job. But no, this is really cool. It's totally different than ours, but you should listen. It's great.
Yeah.
That's who I'm guessing. I just realized that hit me as I was thinking.
Hello,
Allie. And
hello,
Dan.
Canadian friends.
What?
Canadian friends.
Okay, there's a T in there.
Canadian.
Didn't realize. Okay, cool. This week is going to be something that I think will be applicable coming up soon, actually. Because summer, for those who are in this part of the hemisphere, apparently Katie doesn't like summer.
No, I don't like the thought that these things are going to happen again.
Oh, yeah. These things are real. They go.
No, it's more like.
That's okay. That is good. It's not. Bzz, it's more like. I can't.
And they always come into your ear at night.
And you're like. That was me killing it. It's like.
I spread disease.
Yeah. But anyways, so
that's all.
That's what our episode was. Thank you for listening. So yeah, this is You're Not Paranoid, where we talk about things you get called paranoid for caring about that actually happen. I thought you were gonna say that,
sorry.
so I finished it. It's fine. It's cool. Today we're half on the same page. Because Katie
like on
keeps yawning.
adjacent pages.
Yeah, we're next to each other, but we're trying to.
But it's the same book.
That's good, because that would be not good. Is it called You're Not Paranoid? Awesome. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's get on the same page. So, what we're talking about.
We're talking about mosquito diseases.
Yeah, so it turns out there's a lot of mosquito diseases.
It's disgusting.
Like, a lot of mosquito diseases.
Yeah, they serve no purpose except to spread disease.
That's not true.
Well,
but some may think that.
AKA
I think
moi.
AKA Katie. I don't think that that's true entirely.
Well, I'm ignorant, so.
I mean, I read a fact and I'm wondering if this is the reason that it'll come up at some point. So there are a lot of mosquito diseases, but this week we're focusing on 2. Those are.
Which ones are they?
I'm covering West Nile virus.
So am I.
No, you're not. Stop.
And
You can't even say it with a straight face. I actually got kind of scared because you were laughing harder than I would expect. I was like, oh no, she really did cover it too.
No, I'm just giggling now. I did the Zika.
Not Zinka, like the zinc brand you put on for surfing. Zika, right?
Yeah.
Zika.
Zick.
Zick? Katie.
Oh, help.
Someone send help.
Zika virus.
Zika.
Sounds too happy.
It's with, I thought is it CK or KK?
No, it's K. It's just one K.
Oh. Okay.
I was just messing with you.
Okay, yeah, you really threw me for. Katie's one of those people who she will,
oh no,
several occasions has stumped me and my coworkers where she will tell us something either with a straight face. She could either say it with a straight face or laughing, and we'll believe her even though it's totally false. But she has one of those honest faces / personalities that you just take it for what it's worth. And then she's like, I'm literally laughing because I can't contain how dumb this is. And we're like, oh. But she's funny like that.
Thanks. I get that from my brother. He's really good at telling stories that are completely false, but then you believe him until it gets to that really, really ridiculous point, and then you realize he's been lying to you this entire time.
So he's a pathological liar.
Yes.
Great. He should write creepypastas.
Maybe that's who. Maybe he already does.
I think that's his calling. Okay. So, do you want me to start or you want to start?
Whichever.
Katie.
Oh, I don't know. Are we?
I mean.
What? Do we flip a coin? I don't have one.
Flip your phone. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Screen side up.
Okay. All right, dude. Watch out for your LaCroix though. LA Croix.
Do you want to be screens up?
I'll be the other side. The pop it,
the
whatever
pop
that's
it
called.
thing?
Pop
Okay.
it down.
How do I flip it?
Just do it. Ha!
Ooh,
Oh wait.
No. Okay, so that's me.
That means you go first.
go
I thought
first.
because I was like pop it down, meaning like pop it side down, but I meant pop it side up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got it.
Ha.
So I'm going first. Welcome.
Hey, it's Katie. I mean, that's Katie.
All right. The Zika virus is a more recent scare, but it was first discovered in 1947,
Interesting.
which I did not know. And guess where?
South America.
Oh, no. The Zika forest.
What? That's why it's called the Zika virus?
Yes, in Uganda. And I thought that this podcast will kill you did it, but they didn't.
Oh.
But
I
guess
like they will.
Yeah, they did malaria, and so I think that's where I was getting confused because that's also a mosquito-borne disease.
Transmitted, yeah.
Transmitted, yeah, that's what it was. But they were saying that I guess in naming infectious diseases, they try to avoid naming them after the places nowadays because it gives that place really bad rep.
Yeah.
And it's not really nice thing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of unfair.
So 1947, didn't care. So
that's when it was discovered.
Discovered in the forest, but the first human cases were detected in 1952.
Oh, okay. That's still really early.
Yeah, because I didn't know until more recently
Mm-hmm.
it was in the news. So since then, there have been outbreaks in tropical Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands. More recently, there's been 14 cases, although more cases have probably happened because the symptoms, which I will cover in a minute, are very similar to other, just like being sick or other diseases, so they think it's underreported.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of a bummer. So it's a little bit harder to study. Let's see. So what is it specifically? It's an RNA virus that basically messes with your immune system, and more specifically the macrophages, which I think you talked about in one of our episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically a white blood cell that helps get rid of all the junk.
It's like the important white
Yeah.
blood cell
So
that helps your immune system.
Yeah, and
right?
so they think that the Zika virus affects the macrophages specifically.
Mm-hmm.
since it is newer in terms of like trying to figure out like exact mechanisms and all that stuff, there's more recent research from UCSD School of Med.
What is UCSD?
UC.
Well,
okay.
Some people don't know what UC is.
University of California.
Okay.
At San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So they did a cool experiment where they were able to tag the virus in living cells,
Mm-hmm.
and then they sorted them, because they're saying the best way to study the infection is to only look at the infected cells,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very different, so they could get a more accurate account of what the effect is. So they hypothesized that the virus suppresses the gene production in cells by blocking macrophage genes,
Mm-hmm.
which would be normally stimulated in an immune response.
So the Zika virus is doing something to inhibit normal, healthy immune system gene production.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also general suppression of gene production in general, because the virus targets RNA POL2 or POL2, and that is a cell's gene transcription machinery.
The polymerase.
Yeah.
Polymerase 2.
Yeah.
Yay. We're nerds.
So I know. So that was kind of sciencey, but basically it attacks in different ways to basically stop your immune system response.
That's really bad.
Yeah. And so they think, because I'll talk about it later, the brain is also targeted in babies. So they think that this mechanism of attacking gene transcription and suppressing gene production has something to do, or it's a similar type of pathway in the brain. So that was kind of like their next step.
Got it.
They'll study the brain.
Can we say the central dogma really quick for people who are wondering?
Oh, yes. That might be good.
Okay. So like what Katie's saying for transcription. So like in the central dogma of biology, it goes DNA, RNA, proteins, and that's the super simplified version.
Mm-hmm.
Transcription is when it goes from DNA to RNA, which is where the Zika virus is interrupting, which then prevents it from going RNA to proteins, because we need proteins, and RNA are the precursors to that. So if the RNA can't get made, the proteins can't get made, the cells can't survive.
Yep.
Our bodies can't survive.
Yes.
So that's what she's saying.
Yes.
Sorry, I just want to, because I know that, but not everybody does.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you get Zika virus? We already talked about the main method, which is a mosquito bite.
Oh, yeah. I was really confused. I don't know why. I was like, wait, what?
It is I don't know how to say it. Adidas. It looks like Adidas.
Adidas. I'm wearing Adidas socks right now. Like,
oh, they're covered in mosquitoes.
Oh my, get them off.
It's Aedes species, specifically the Aegypti and the albopictus. And they bite during the day and the night.
Oh no.
Which I guess some mosquitoes just choose one.
Mm-hmm.
But lucky us, they bite all the time.
They're always going.
And they are these specific mosquitoes are found throughout North America. There's the potential for it being in the U.S. You can also get the Zika virus passed down from a pregnant woman to her fetus.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also get it through sex and through blood transfusions. That is likely, but not yet confirmed.
The sex or the blood transfusion?
Blood transfusion.
Okay.
Symptoms. So some people don't even get symptoms, or they might have mild symptoms.
I thought you were going to say zits. I'm sorry. That's why I'm laughing.
What if the Zika
Some
virus
people don't get
gives
zits. Yeah, that's called people with balanced hormones and great skin. Sorry, can you say that last part again? Some people don't get Zika.
Some people that get Zika don't have symptoms, or it'll be very mild. And that's, I think, where the ise of knowing the number of cases.
Yeah, like reported.
Yeah. So you get fever, rash, headaches, joint pain, red eyes, and muscle pain, which can last for a few days to a week.
That sounds like someone who's really angry or on steroids. Like red eyes and muscle. Like I'm just picturing muscle growth. Sorry. Like the Hulk. Muscle pain.
Joint pain. People usually don't get sick enough to go to the hospital, and they very rarely die of Zika.
Rarely. That's good.
And then, like other viruses, people have been infected with Zika, they are most likely protected from any future infections.
That's good.
So it doesn't sound so bad, right?
Right.
Is what I wrote. So
Not too bad.
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
So where it's the most risky is for those babies whose moms get Zika while pregnant.
Oh, so their babies are already like developing.
Yeah, and so I guess it's more devastating on a developing human than an adult
human.
Yeah, so it can cause microcephaly, which is a condition where the baby's head is much smaller at birth than it should be, which usually means that the brain is smaller and could be underdeveloped. There's like severe versus like non-severe. So then it could cause some like neurodevelopmental disease, or it might not. But they say that Zika can also cause Guillain-Barré syndrome. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It looks French. It is a nervous system sickness.
Okay.
Where the person's own immune system damages the nerve cells.
Ooh, that really sucks.
Yeah.
You said that really fast, but
sorry.
That's really awful.
It can cause paralysis sometimes and muscle weakness and damages the nerve cells.
The nerve cells, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is interesting because this is being seen in the more recent outbreaks, but I think they're classifying it as a strong association.
Okay.
Not necessarily a cause, but it has been seen with the babies being born.
Maybe like something is going wrong
Yeah.
during development, giving them that mutation, so it's like associated.
Yeah. So that's probably where it's, because it sounds like for the most part adults who get Zika just kind of get like a weird little flu type, like a Zika sickness for a week and they're fine.
A zickness.
And it's just more of the women who are pregnant and get infected and then pass it to their baby. The babies are the ones that have the more severe symptoms and or birth defects.
So the babies are okay? Like potentially?
I think it depends for the microcephaly. It depends on how small. I think.
Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does every baby who's infected get microcephaly?
It can cause it.
Okay. So there's a chance and that's that risk.
Okay, so it might be a severe brain defect because it says it can cause a birth defect of the brain and other severe brain defects.
Okay, so it's not good.
Yeah, it can also be linked to miscarriage, stillbirth, or other birth defects.
Oh.
So that's where it hits the hardest is pregnant women.
Yeah.
And their babies.
Oh. Babies.
Well, okay, so here's more about the Guillain-Barré, which is called GBS. The symptoms can last a few weeks or several months, and most people fully recover from it, though some people could have permanent damage.
And this is the one where your immune system is being attacked by yourself?
Yes. It is your immune system damaging your nervous system.
Ugh. That's good that there's a chance for full recovery.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Maybe with like certain medication or something like that.
They don't know what causes the GBS, but most people with it report an infection before they have the symptoms. So I think that's where it's like causation.
Like causation. Yeah.
So
at least now they know to like keep an eye out for it.
So should we be paranoid about it? There is no vaccine currently available. And like I said, these mosquitoes can be found everywhere in the U.S. or throughout the U.S. So that is concerning.
Yeah.
Positives, it is a virus, and so that means a vaccine could be made for it, like once we learn more about it.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2018, for the U.S., no mosquito-borne Zika virus transmission has been reported.
That's good.
So that's real good, considering we have those and then not all of the those species of mosquitoes, they don't inherently have those diseases or those viruses. It's just that they can carry it and transmit it.
So you're telling me that all of the Zika virus came from that Zika forest?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And then maybe people are getting it, and then interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what the origin of I think that's the interesting part. Of
how does the disease keep going?
Yeah, how does that virus get into the mosquito in the first place? And how does it evolve to then survive in the mosquito?
So they're still kind of researching that and figuring it out.
I am, because I don't know the
answer. Sorry.
It's okay.
Got it.
So because it is most commonly spread by mosquitoes, the best way to protect yourself against Zika virus is to protect yourself against mosquitoes. So wearing bug spray, especially now it's getting warmer. Getting rid of any still water laying around in your backyard, front yard, wherever. Let's see. Checking. Well, and then that's another thing too, is traveling abroad to
because there's a lot of these across destination points.
Yes. So I think that's another concern too, is that even though we have the mosquitoes here in the U.S., they may or may not be more concentrated in different countries. So the CDC recommends checking. I think they have a link on their website to check to see what the outbreak, or if there is any outbreaks, before you decide to travel. Spraying your house inside and out for mosquitoes. They like to rest in dark, humid areas, like under furniture, either outside or inside. So, and then also to keep them out of your house, to make sure if you're going to open your windows, make sure the screens are intact. It's funny, the CDC said or just use the AC.
Because they don't like cool places.
Yeah, or I guess if that's your options of opening the window with no screen, they're just use the AC. And it's well, people are probably trying to save money.
Yeah.
If they had the choice of turning their AC on. But anyways.
True. Or just put tape over those holes in the screen.
Yeah.
They make those my mom got this weird magnetic screen thing installed where it's a fake screen, even at the front door. It's a thing that sticks on the outside of the door, and then it's a screen. It's pretty simple. It's a little handle versus the full-on sliding glass door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pretty nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then it folds up into almost an accordion thing to this tiny little holder. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can also treat clothes and gear with something called permethrin.
I saw that, yeah.
I don't know.
Something like that. It's a
some
chemical.
sort of chemical that you can put on clothes, and it repels mosquitoes. Good news for those people living in Alaska and Hawaii. There has been no Zika virus transmission by mosquitoes ever reported there.
Woohoo!
So congratulations. To diagnose Zika, you go to the doctor and they do a blood or urine test, or they also look at your travel history. So if you have Zika, you are supposed to rest, drink fluids, and you can take acetaminophen to reduce your fever and pain. Do not take any NSAIDs. Doesn't say why.
Aren't those blood thinners too?
Anti-inflammatory. That's kind of it, and you rest.
That's good. So it's basically you have a cold and you need to chill out.
So basically, if you're not pregnant, then
take the day off.
It doesn't sound like it's too bad. So I think that's more of the concern of if you are pregnant or are thinking about being pregnant, you should be more careful of where you're traveling and taking precautions to avoid being bit by mosquitoes
while getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Like if you're like on your honeymoon.
Yeah, more of like
get pregnant, or is it like if you haven't had the baby, if you haven't even been pregnant yet and you get it, and then it's like.
No, I think it's more of like it should be a consideration for you to think about if you are planning to get pregnant, so that when you are pregnant, that's something you should, you know how you take your prenatal vitamins and all that stuff. It should just be something that you also consider of making sure you don't get bit by a mosquito.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard.
I know.
Because especially if you're on vacation.
Yeah.
It is your honeymoon. You want to, like, you know, go tropical, warm, humid, dark places or under furniture where mosquitoes live. Mm-hmm. That's where I vacation.
I always vacation under furniture.
Cool. Creepy. Yeah. Cool and creepy. So we should be a little paranoid.
You should be a little bit.
I don't like using that word because we're telling people that they're not paranoid.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Okay, cool.
That's how I broke down that section on my notes. And I was like, should you be paranoid? AKA take precautions. AKA be concerned.
AKA you're not paranoid.
AKA
this is real deal.
Yes.
How did we say, did you mention how many people get it? I can't remember. You said there was no outbreaks in 2018.
Yes.
In the United States.
On Statista.com, the statistics portal. I don't know.
Ooh.
Number of countries reporting mosquito-borne Zika virus transmission as of February 2018, 86.
Oh, that's kind of a lot. That's not good.
It also says that in the U.S. there were 62 Zika virus infections reported in 2015, then over 5,000 in 2016, and then 452 in 2017.
So 2016 was like crazy.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see why, but I don't know.
Well, if you're a epidemiologist / public health administrator, let us know.
Or if you found any of that interesting, then you can dive deeper
and continue listening to topic number 2.
Take it away.
So this week I'm a little so that's what I was gonna say is I'm a little sick, so I apologize. My voice so I'm not like I'm sick like I'm sick.
But she's also sick with it.
Sick. But not like fucking sick. You can beep.
Wow.
So like it's not that I wanted to teach you this. It's not the F word. It's like no. Yeah, like that. So you're not really saying it. You're just like pushing past the F, skipping the U, and going straight to a CK. Ing. So those are the 3 sicknesses. Like sick. Number 2 is like sick, and then like fucking sick.
It still sounds like you're saying it. I don't know
I'm
if
not
I'm allowed
though.
to bleep that, or if
You might have to bleep it or cut it.
Okay.
Anyways, so if my voice is like, that's why. Okay, I'll say it. West Nile virus.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
That's scary.
The WNV, baby.
What up?
So guess what?
What?
In 1937, the West Nile virus was first isolated in a woman in the West Nile district of Uganda.
Oh. I was going to say Egypt.
It was in Uganda. Sorry to disappoint you.
Hey, so it's mine.
I know. So this is kind of interesting because I feel
Uganda?
like I'm listening and I'm like, there are similarities that we will overlap.
Interesting.
So, which is to be expected considering we're both doing mosquito transmissible diseases, viruses. And in 1953,
1 year later than mine.
No. Oh, yes. I thought you meant like 1937 and 1953 are not one. I mean, I know you're blonde, but come on.
Really bad at chronological order.
She can't do math.
Or years.
So in 1953, but she's really good at history. It's such a mystery.
Yeah.
Oh,
History mystery.
a history episode. In 1953, it was identified in birds in the Nile Delta region. So that's the little background. The largest outbreaks have been in Greece, Israel, Romania, Russia, and the USA, which is where we are.
What?
And they've all occurred along major bird migratory routes.
Ew.
Isn't that interesting?
That's
I thought that was really cool.
Birds are gross.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. There are some people who like birds who are pet birds versus the wild birds.
Yeah, not disease spreading ones.
I don't know. I guess you're right. Disease spreading ones are sad. There are actually a lot of bird diseases I did not know about that we did not talk about, but this is one of them.
Birds.
Oh, birds. King birds. Anywho, so the first case in the U.S. for the West Nile virus was discovered in New York City, New York, in 1999.
Oh, wow. So it was a big jump.
Yeah, pretty big jump. There's some, I was going to say that it was suggested that there was an infected bird that was the carrier of the West Nile virus that came, like it basically got imported to New York.
Oh, no.
But the specific details aren't completely known. And there's actually I was going to start talking about it, but I'm like, you know what? For those who are interested, there's an entire PubMed article about literally the history of where the West Nile virus came from.
That's cool.
So that's better that you consult that than me talk about it this whole episode, because it's something that I will think is interesting. That's long because I've been reading about it for longer than 2 seconds. Okay. So that will be on the website, you'renotparanoid.com.
Nice.
Under source links. Anywho. So West Nile virus is found in all 48 contiguous states, not Alaska, just like yours. And I wrote another reason to move there. And any cases that have been found in Hawaii have occurred through exposures being outside of the state. So similar in that regard. The West Nile virus itself is a single-stranded RNA virus.
Oh my God.
I know, right? That is part of the genus Flavivirus, like Flav.
Yeah, that was also mine.
Yeah, you remember
I didn't say it.
Remember Flava Flav? I don't know why I'm pointing at you. I'm sorry. The West Nile virus spreads by the spread of a bite. The West Nile virus spreads by the bite of an infected mosquito. Yes. That was me mosquito noising.
I'm going to have to show you that video that I was telling you about earlier.
What video?
Like one of my favorite meme videos. With the guy with the microphone going like,
oh, yes.
Because that's the tag, the title of it is when the mosquito is humming is in your ear, like buzzing and is. I'm
so excited. So fun facts. As I said, West Nile virus can only spread by the bite of an infected mosquito. So the mosquito itself is infected.
Okay.
Interesting is that only female mosquitoes suck your blood to nourish their eggs, but both males and females eat pollen as a main source. I did not know that. And that's what I was trying to say when you're like, they're only good for sucking your blood and making illness. I think they also pollinate. Interesting, right?
I did not know that.
Then that's why they have
to suck our blood?
Because the females need the nourishment.
Do they though?
For their eggs, because they're arthropod vampires, really.
Wow.
Anyways,
rude.
I know. They're just little leeches. Dang leech mosquitoes. So the mosquitoes get infected. So they themselves get infected with West Nile virus when they feed on infected birds. So remember that thing I mentioned about the birds? Only birds.
Interesting.
And it takes about a week for it to circulate in the blood of the mosquito, and then it becomes concentrated in its salivary glands.
Yuck.
Nasty. And then the infected mosquito will go bite other birds, and then the birds get infected, further driving the virus. So it kind of reminded me, remember Toxoplasma gondii, where only that only propagated in like cats.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that where,
Yeah.
but for West Nile virus, it's in birds.
I know that it reminded me of that too when for mine, because it's pregnant women have to be careful.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting how it's specifically certain hosts
Mm-hmm.
who are affected.
Yes.
So many types of birds can be infected. It has been detected in over 300 species.
Ooh, that's
And
not good.
I'm going to name all of those now. It includes, I'm just kidding.
Like, let me take notes.
Katie, write this down.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Crows, owls. I'm just kidding. Most birds survive, but some do get sick and die. And these include like jays and crows. Some predatory birds, such as hawks and owls, and scavengers like crows, and I put vultures parentheses because they're also a scavenger, can become infected if they eat sick or dead birds that were already infected with West Nile virus.
Yuck.
So the infected mosquito spreads the virus by biting people and other animals, which include horses, dogs, bats, cats, reptiles, and amphibians.
So those all can be infected with West Nile?
Yes.
That's scary.
I don't know that they get sick.
They just...
They call them, I believe the word was dead end host.
Oh,
So they end
okay.
there, but they can't further be spread from them.
Got it.
There's a very small number of cases where the virus has been spread through exposure in a lab setting, which kind of sounds like the movie Outbreak, and it's terrifying. Blood transfusion and organ donation,
Ooh, yuck.
and from mother to baby during pregnancy, delivery, or breastfeeding. So those are very rare cases, especially the lab setting.
Jeez.
That sounds like a grave mistake.
I know. Can you imagine?
That would really, really suck. You accidentally like injected yourself. I'm guessing it was
Yeah.
like a needle through a glove or something like that. I didn't look it up. If I wanted to look it up, but I didn't have time for this particular episode. But
Ugh.
if you haven't, seen Outbreak, watch that.
I have not seen it.
So it is not spread person to person.
That's good.
So it's not spread by sneezing, coughing, or touching live animals, handling live or dead infected birds, or eating infected birds or other animals.
You cannot get it.
No, they just remind us to cook your meat all the way through, as in no bird sushi.
Oh.
Please. I added that. That was my little... So some symptoms. 8 out of 10 people infected with West Nile virus do not develop any symptoms.
Wow.
But 1 in 5 infected people do develop a fever with other symptoms that include headaches, body aches, joint pains, vomiting, diarrhea, or a rash. Most people with these symptoms completely recover, but the fatigue and the weakness can last weeks or months, which also sucks. Few people who are infected, and they say, this is from the CDC, 1 in 150 people develop very serious illnesses that affect the central nervous system. So kind of like what you were saying. The first type of illness is encephalitis, so the inflammation of the brain. And you can also get meningitis, which is inflammation of the membranes surrounding the brain and the spinal cord.
Yikes.
Neither of these are good. So symptoms of these like really serious illnesses are high fever, headache, neck stiffness, stupor, which is a state of, because I didn't know this, I've heard of stupor, but I never really knew what it meant. A state of near unconsciousness or insensibility.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not good. It kind of sounds like veggie style, meaning like, like if, I don't know why I said that, like a vegetable. Disorientation, coma, tremors, convulsions, muscle weakness, vision loss, numbness, and paralysis. So this is like very, very bad. And these are, this is rare, like I said, but still not good.
That's crazy that one virus could have such a wide range of symptoms.
Yeah. And anyone at any age can get these, can have these symptoms, but it's those who are over the age of 60 are at greater risk, and as well as individuals with certain medical conditions. They say like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, and those who have received organ transplants.
Wow.
Recovery from encephalitis and meningitis can take up to several weeks or months. Some of the effects can be permanent, and 1 in 10 people who have these serious illnesses will die.
Oh, wow.
So it's something to definitely not be messed with. You're not really dying from the virus per se. You're dying from the side effects of like what the virus is then causing.
Yeah.
So the CDC has this weekly report called the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, which sounds like something only people of the CDC would find.
What if that was your job?
Yeah.
How depressing.
I know. So in a 2016 report on West Nile virus, 2,150 cases were found in the United States, and 61% of those were found to be neuroinvasive, meaning these serious illnesses that we're talking about.
61%?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's rare, I think, among those, 1,250 individuals, so those who even have who are infected, 95% of them were hospitalized, and 8% died.
Whoa.
So that's 105 people.
That's a lot.
Died. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can say it's rare, but everything's statistics and ratios. So one year it could be more, 1 year it could be less. Pretty gnarly. To detect it, same thing as you mentioned, taking a blood sample. So they test your serum or the cerebral spinal fluid to detect specific antibodies that are made for the West Nile virus. It's the IgM antibodies. There is, so just like you said, so it's like a lot of parallel. For treatment, there's no vaccine, and there are no specific antiviral treatments available. All they do recommend is that you manage your symptoms and whatever you have. So like over-the-counter pain relievers, like you mentioned, acetaminophen, fever reducers, and if the illnesses do get really bad or the symptoms are not good, going to the hospital, and then they can give you more serious medication, IV fluids, etc. So for tracking West Nile virus, it's considered a nationally notifiable condition where the cases get reported to the CDC if it becomes visible that something is wrong. It's not as prevalent nowadays, but they still, I believe, certain places do take reports and testing of dead birds as one way to check for West Nile virus.
Ew.
So it's like, I think one of the big things was that people were finding really sick or dead birds, but like in large populations. And they're like, what is happening? Because, I mean, I don't know, for some reason I think of birds being like above everything. So like if they get sick, like we're really in trouble. Like they can literally fly away from what's happening. And there are some surveillance, I wrote progasm. There are some surveillance programs that rely on people reporting either their own illnesses or seeing the dead birds or something like that, so then they can track the location of the virus and like where it's moving. They say if you do find this, creepy like dead birds or anything like that, or anything that's concerning, just go ahead and contact your state health department or the wildlife agency for like more information, or like to let them know what's happening. And in detecting whether or not the virus is there could be the early detection, basically to stop it from spreading to humans via viruses. I mean the mosquitoes, or it could even be evidence of the avian influenza, which is like bird flu.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I remember that.
So there's bird flu. Yeah, so then that's the thing. It's like they can basically discern which one it is. They say do not handle those dead birds with your bare hands.
Ew, 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 ew.
They quote, use gloves or an inverted plastic bag to place the carcass in a garbage bag, which then can be disposed in your regular trash. Which I just feel kind of weird about throwing a bird in the trash can.
It's going to smell real bad.
I mean, take that out right away. So, controlling them mosquitoes.
Do it.
Control them. There are intensive proactive plans. I was going to write them all out, and then I'm like, oh dear, that nobody cares.
Intense.
Except unless you're like in the pest control industry and you're like, oh yeah, these are my people. Then you're not going to care. But there are proactive plans that you and your neighbors can take go online or talk to pest control, I say. Generally, the plan is to get rid of anything that has standing water, not sitting water. This is important. It's a joke.
Oh.
This is important. There it is.
I was like, what's the difference?
I just thought it was funny that they call it, like, they're so specific as standing water.
Because it's not moving.
Yeah, but if you're sitting, you're not moving either.
Well.
Thank you. That's my point. So
start a petition.
I know. Let's change it. So it's important to get rid of this standing, sitting water because this is where mosquitoes lay eggs.
Yeah, gross.
And the CDC was really quick to say that a great example of this is like abandoned tires. That tires are like the go-to.
Ew.
So if you have like tires laying around or like
I
illegally
do.
dumped tires on the side of the road, or if you're hanging out with tires in the backyard, because I think it like if you
has
picture
that
the
rim.
Yeah, and it's dark.
Perfect.
And water, after the rain or something, or sprinklers are on, or the dew. So it's pretty nasty. When a mosquito lays eggs in the water, because they need the water to lay the eggs, she can lay as many as 300
No.
in one little, drop, or whatever you call it.
Litter.
The mosquito babies.
Yuck.
And they also say to use larvicide, which is for killing the larva before they become the pupae, or whatever you call them, the puppies, little poops. The larvicide and adulticide, which to me sounds like a Peter Pan thing.
That sounds like you're trying to murder adults.
I know, but murdering adult mosquitoes. So.
How would I know?
'Cause I'm telling you.
Okay.
So they say to keep track of it, which is done by the local and state agencies. So for yourself, the things you can do is wearing long sleeves, pants, hats, mosquito nets, repellents containing DEET, or for our naturally focused friends, the oil of lemon eucalyptus, which I was always curious if like those essential oils really do work. But if the CDC says it, I mean, then it's got to be some truth, right?
Interesting.
And like that P one that you mentioned, I didn't write it down because I didn't know how to pronounce it, so I skipped it.
I didn't either.
You
I
went
failed
for
miserably.
And these mosquitoes, no you didn't. I like moved past it, but no you didn't. One thing I forgot to mention is that these types of mosquitoes that are the ones who carry the West Nile virus, and then they themselves get infected. They're not really infected though. They're more like carriers who have it, but they're not really dying. So I don't really calling it infected, but the carriers are called, I'm going to say Culex. It's Culex. So they're the type of mosquito that you were talking about. Your type of mosquito, mine, the one I'm talking about, my pet mosquito, are known to bite mostly at night.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
So yours you have to worry about all the time.
All day long.
So this is interesting. Guess what? They say mosquitoes are found to be attracted to. And I feel like this is something that people are going to be like, yeah, or no, it's wrong.
Tall, dark, handsome men.
All these lady mosquitoes are just like swooning for their blood. Yeah. They're like, oh my gosh. No.
Sweat.
Yes. So it's wearing dark colored clothing, wearing perfume, blood type,
what?
Body temperature, and if you're hanging around that standing water.
So
Sitting next to standing water.
So the clothes is a true thing, not like a urban legend.
The what thing?
The clothing.
That's
color.
what they say. I got this from a website that I can pull up because I was kind of like, let's do it. I called it Fun Times.
Maybe that's why we wear bright colors during the summer.
Maybe.
Spring.
That's what they secretly have been. The CDC is really behind the fashion industry. I don't know what that accent
It was a little like Michigan or something.
I don't know what the accent was. The fashion industry.
Fashion.
So, to wrap this up, where does it happen? So, you're definitely at risk if you travel to Africa, Europe, the Middle East, West and Central Asia, Canada, and Mexico.
So everywhere.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, you didn't say like Australia or like, a couple other places. And they have their own version of, viruses that are transmitted via mosquitoes. So just because you're not affected by this one doesn't mean you shouldn't wear, repellent, because they're everywhere. There's all sorts of
Listen
diseases.
up, Australia.
So locally, the highest suffered is, I think that was very like self-centered. And obviously the US. You travel to the US.
Say the US.
I realize that because we're not traveling to the US, but for our Canadian and Australian
and
Swedish, and then for me, Irish and Chinese listeners, if you travel to the US, you still do. Yeah, welcome. Come hang out. And you still need to wear your DEET. Get the DEETs.
Get the DEETs, man.
Get the DEETs here. Locally, as in the United States, that was my segue, but I missed it. The highest number of neuroinvasive cases are in California, which had 144 last year.
Yay.
Illinois, which had 122. Michigan had 80. Nebraska, 121. Pennsylvania had 89. And Texas had 98.
Well.
Yeah, so. And then within California, locally, because we're coming to you from California, if you care. Apparently, there were 215 cases. I'm assuming this is just West Nile virus in general, not necessarily those super serious illnesses or the symptoms. There were 215 cases in 2018. The highest number of cases came from Los Angeles County with 43 cases, and 2 of those were fatal.
Yikes. I think I remember that. When was this?
2018.
Oh.
So, yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived that, right? We went through 2018.
Yeah, I remember it like it was last year.
So I have this wow. I feel like I have a lisp saying this. Ask Smithsonian, why do mosquitoes bite some people more than others? Don't look at zoomed in versions of mosquitoes. They look like that Punisher skull with spider legs. Look at this.
No.
Doesn't it look like the Punisher logo?
I don't know what that is.
The skull with the lines in its mouth.
Oh, yuck.
I know. So one study found that mosquitoes landed on people with type O blood nearly twice as often as those with type A.
Sick. I'm type A.
And people with type B fell somewhere in the middle of this itchy spectrum.
No.
Apparently, based on other genes, 85% of people secrete a chemical signal through their skin that indicates which blood type they have, while 15% do not.
Interesting.
And mosquitoes are also more attracted to secretors, than non-secretors, regardless of which type they are.
Interesting.
Which makes sense. If you have no secretions, they're like, we don't know you're there.
Come suck my blood.
Yeah. So when people are like, ugh, I feel like I have that skin that people want to suck my blood.
Ayo.
Ew. Ew. First of all, people
She hangs
don't.
out with a lot of vampires.
I'm a vampire mosquito girl. What can I say? Carbon dioxide. Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
What?
One of the key ways that mosquitoes locate their targets is by smelling the carbon dioxide emitted by their breath.
Ew. Gross.
They use an organ called the maxillary palp and can detect carbon dioxide from as far as 164 feet away. Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
So some people exhale more gas over time.
Yeah,
Generally, larger people with more. That was not me. That was Smithsonian Magazine. I think they just mean people who breathe more. And that is why children often get bit less than adults.
Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So same thing for sweating. They smell your sweat. They smell substances expelled via their sweat, and they're attracted to people with higher blood temperatures. I meant body temperatures. Skin bacteria, they're more prone. Ew. Ugh. It says this might be why mosquitoes are especially prone to biting our ankles and feet. They naturally have more robust bacterial colonies.
Ew.
That makes me uncomfortable. Beer. Just a single 12-ounce can of beer can make you more attractive to men and insects. One study found. They didn't write
good
that.
One.
I wrote the men,
that was
but
a good
that's
one.
But even though researchers have suspected that this is because it increases more sweat or ethanol in your sweat, it also increases temperature. I don't know. I'm not going to finish reading that. Pregnant women have been found to be more attractive for mosquito bites. Let's just say you produce more carbon dioxide when you're pregnant. Clothing color.
You're breathing for 2.
You say bleeding for 2?
Breathing.
I thought you said bleeding for 2. I'm like, ew.
Well, I mean, if a mosquito bites you, then yeah.
I mean, can you imagine a mosquito restaurant be like, I'll take some bleeding for 2, please, thank you. It is. I mean, like if a mosquito family, it's like maybe a husband and wife mosquito on the night out on the bodies at like a bar or something. It's like
blood bar.
Smell the carbon dioxide. And that's all I'm going to say. Also, Australia. So I went abroad to Southeast Asia with some friends, and I had this Australian friend. She's really cool. And I went to borrow some of her her bug spray. So DEET is really toxic. Like, be careful. Don't put it in babies' faces and all that. Like, if you're going to apply it. There's like a whole system online. Just Google it. But I remember her, like, Australian bug repellents have like 10 times higher DEET than the United States. I thought that was really interesting. And I was like, maybe because they have like gnarlier mosquitoes.
Everything can kill you there.
Everything. Yeah, but DEET can't protect you from everything. That's the problem.
Maybe theirs does.
Is there kind of DEET? Get the deets here. Go online. You're not paranoid.com for the deets about DEET. Deets about DEET. But anyways. Oh, yeah. So the point is you should be kind of concerned about this.
Yeah.
And by kind of, I mean like just flip and wear the bug spray.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering, like, do I need to wear bug spray every time I go running?
At night, I mean,
Probably.
you could. It affects, it's very rare that it affects people to the point of, you know.
I think we had a like, local case.
Yeah. I would definitely wear or just, they say like wear pants, just like cover you up.
Yeah.
But it's not good because it's like everything, elevated body temperature. You're going to be breathing more. It's going to be evening, you know.
Ugh.
Don't wear dark colors.
I'll just, yeah.
Wear bright colors, stand out, hold your breath.
Don't breathe out.
Wear long pants and shirts.
And my mosquito net hat.
Oh man, so I go fishing with my boyfriend, and we were in the mountains during summer. Goodness. There are so many mosquitoes.
Ew, really?
Yes, in the mountains. And you know what's funny is like you heard of fly fishing? Okay. I was hoping you're going to say yes. So
what's that?
So fly fishing is you're using like fake flies, and so it looks like, so you put it on the surface and then the fish eats it because they think it's a fly, but it's our hook. They also make mosquito ones.
Ew.
Because mosquitoes are so prevalent in those fishing areas. I didn't realize how bad it was, so I didn't. Now I will be getting one when we go fishing in summer. I should have gotten a mosquito hat, like for real, because I got bit so many times. All I was wearing was like a bandana around my eyes. Just talking about it, my skin is like crawling right now. And like sunglasses, like trying to literally protect every part of me. So the only parts I got bit were like my ear and like kind of like my cheek and then my hands. Because when you're fishing, like, you know, on your finger or something, you can't really protect your fingers that well because you need to feel the line.
Jeez.
But I don't know why I'm hand signaling everything for you. You know what that looks like. Anyways, that is that. Yikes. So definitely cover up. Take care of yourself. If you have symptoms, don't ignore them. Because meningitis, I know if you tackle it sooner than later, you can stop the progression of it. I'm pretty sure. But just don't let your parents or your significant other tell you that you're paranoid. Yeah. And guilt you into not going to the doctor or something like that. Follow your gut. Always follow the leader. That is it. Thank you for listening. We
Thanks.
are
out.
Can I just say our things?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, we haven't said this in a long time, but please feel free to refer your family and friends to our podcast.
Refer a friend.
Yeah, refer a friend. Send us your stories if you can relate to anything, even if we've already covered it and you're just now listening. I just got nasally all of a sudden. Feel free to write in about it or ask questions. We're, totally open. You can email us at yournotparanoid@gmail.com. That's yours spelled correctly without the apostrophe. You're Not Paranoid on Instagram, so same spelling. yournotparanoid.com, same spelling, surprise. And then we're on Twitter at YNP Podcast. You can find all of our episodes on iTunes, Google Play,
Spotify.
She said Spotify.
Stitcher. Podbean.
Pretty much all of them. I mean, if you find one that we're not on, let us know. And we'll consider putting it up there for you. Ooh, that sounded really gross.
What?
I said maybe we'll consider putting it up there for you. Oh, wow.
Wink, wink.
Putting it up online. Double wink. That's called blinking. We will see you
Friday
for Phobia Friday. TBD. I mean,
no.
I meant
this Friday.
to be continued. I meant TBC. That sounds delicious. Okay. All right. Have a great day.
Okay.
Watch out for the mosquitoes this summer.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.